Dear children, you have watched the presentation. Now, we have to remember some important points. So, these points are very important, and after the session, you are going to note down the points in your notebook. Reproduction. Reproduction is formation of new offspring of same species by earlier existing parent organisms. Evolution of every species occurs due to reproduction only. Methods of reproduction. In living organism, reproduction occurs mainly by two methods, that is asexual method and sexual method. Asexual method of reproduction. Asexual reproduction is uniparental reproduction in which there is no formation of gamete, that is no male gamete or female gamete. The offspring produced is exactly similar to the parents, and asexual reproduction takes place by mitotic cell division. Different methods of asexual reproduction in unicellular organism. First is the binary fission. The parent cell divides into two similar daughter cells. The binary fission takes place in favorable conditions only. Types of binary fission. There are three types of binary fission. Simple binary fission, it occurs in amoeba and bacteria. Transverse binary fission in paramecium, and longitudinal binary fission, it occurs in euglena. Second is multiple fission. Multiple fission occurs in amoeba in unfavorable condition. Protective cyst gets on form. In cyst, repeated nuclear division takes place and many amoebulae are formed. Cyst breaks during favorable condition and they release many amoebulae. Third method is budding. Asexual reproduction occurs by budding in yeast, a unicellular fungus. A small bud appears on the surface of parent cell. After sufficient growth, bud separates and lives independently. Now, asexual reproduction in multicellular organisms. First is fragmentation. It occurs in Spirogyra and Cycon. The body of parent organism breaks up into many fragments and each fragment lives independently. Second method is regeneration. It occurs in planaria. The body is broken down into two parts. Each part regenerates remaining part of the body, forming new organisms. Now third is the budding. Now this budding is in multicellular organisms. It takes place in hydra in favorable condition at a specific part of body, and outgrowth called bud is formed. Bud grows progressively, new hydra is formed, separates, and it leads an independent life. Fourth type is a vegetative propagation. Reproduction with the help of vegetative parts of the plant such as a root, stems and leaves is called as a vegetative propagation. In potato, there are eyes on tubers. In sugarcane, buds on the leaf nodes. In carrot and radish, by the roots, and in bryophyllum, buds on the leaf margin. So, with the help of root, stem and leaves, these plants gets on to reproduce. Next is a spore formation. It takes place in fungi like mucor. Sporangia over the filamentous body burst to release spores. Germination takes place in moist and warm place, forming a new colony. Children, this is a memory map. So we'll quickly revise what we have learned. So reproduction occurs with the help of two methods, that is a asexual method and sexual method. In sexual method, two processes are there. First is the gamete formation and second is fertilization. In asexual method, in unicellular organism, the three ways are there. First is the binary fission, second is a multiple fission, and third is a budding. In binary fission, three again types are there. Simple binary fission in amoeba, transverse binary fission in paramecium, and longitudinal binary fission in euglena. Multiple fission is in amoeba and budding is in yeast. So if you'll remember this memory map, you can write it. So in multicellular organism, the five types are there. Fragmentation in cycon, regeneration in planaria, budding in hydra, vegetative propagation in plants, and spore formation in mucor. So try to remember the memory map and elaborate it for a long question or short question. This is a memory map for reproduction. We will take again a quick review of what we have learned. So method of reproduction, two methods of reproduction, asexual and sexual. Sexual reproduction have two processes. First is the gamete formation, second is the fertilization. Asexual reproduction is in unicellular organism and in multicellular organism. In unicellular organism, three types are there. First is the binary fission, second is the multiple fission in amoeba, and third is budding in yeast. Binary fission is again of three types. Simple binary fission in amoeba, transverse binary fission in paramecium, and longitudinal binary fission in euglena. In multicellular organism, first is the fragmentation in cycon, second is regeneration in planaria, third is budding in hydra, fourth is vegetative propagation in plants, and fifth is the spore formation mucor. So with the help of this, you can elaborate your answer and write 1 mark, 2 marks or 3 marks question. Thank you.